I have a master class that I'm doing tomorrow. It's called, it's called Getting to the Money. Because for a lot of people, um, the learning curve when it comes to cryptocurrency is a big one. Like I said, I've been doing it for 7 years, so it's like second nature to me now. But I know for a lot of people who are new to it, it's not that easy. But what my job is to make it simplified as much as possible, cut your time in half, and really minimize that learning curve so you can get yourself in position, because you don't have 7 years, you don't have 7 months to really understand what this space is about, because we're getting ready to have an event, which is called the halving in Bitcoin, which then brings on a bull run inside of the Bitcoin space. And if you're not already in position, then you will be chasing the market, and that's where most people lose a lot of money. They get into projects because they hear somebody else talking about it, and then by the time they get into it, it's too late. I always tell people, once the pizza man is talking about any kind of coin, whether it be SHIB, Doge, or whatever the case is, once that's happening, you're probably too late to the party. So what I like to do is help people get established themselves early in projects. So I have a private network, I have a private community that I run. I'm an educator, so that's what I love to do. I love to teach people, because for me, for people to get that aha moment, it is what I live for. I remember being in the crypto space in my first 3 to 4 years, and man, telling anybody that would listen, hey man, this crypto thing is really getting ready to take off. It's getting ready to take off. And nobody wanted to hear that, right? Nobody wanted to hear that the crypto market was getting ready to take off. They didn't want to hear anything about Bitcoin. So it was a lot of, get out of my way. But now the tables are returned, right? And I really came to the point where I said, I want to teach those who want to learn, right? That's a big difference. Wanting to teach those who want to learn. That way we're not pulling teeth in order to get people in the fold, right? So I have a brother. I think my brother is on the line. Mr. Blue,
Mr. Red.
Mr. Red. I said you came
Uh,
in at the blue, but I mute their phones. But yes, sir. So I
Oh,
was just doing I was doing my spiel, telling everybody a little bit about what I've been doing in the space. But definitely, brother, want to thank you for taking the time and joining me tonight. Super excited about the work that we're going to be doing in the space together. So without further ado, we can get into it.
yes, yes. Let's get into it. I want to give a shout out, especially to you, my good brother. I remember we had something planned a few weeks ago, but we both so busy that we had to link back up when Bitcoin was at 60. I think the last time it was at 40 when we was gonna get up. So
Yeah, yeah,
timing is everything. I don't want people to feel like that they're gonna get FOMO and whatnot. The best time is right now. So, get ready for opportunities to make themselves known. This is what we about. Being able to not chase opportunities, but to be present when the opportunities present themselves and be ready to take things on. So this is a gift for my network. And I'm going to bring many more opportunities for the network so they could tap in and they could change their lives. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's do it.
absolutely. So what I want to start with, like I said, I'll give you guys just a brief of what we're gonna cover in the class. Just to give you a brief synopsis about what's going on, what time it is, and then like I said, we'll have time to ask some questions, and then I want my brother to speak on his experience in the crypto space, what he's looking forward to, and like he said, last time we were supposed to do this, Bitcoin price was around 40,000, 45,000, and less than 2 weeks later, we're sitting at 60,000. It hit as high as 64,000 today, right? So those are the type of moves that we want to make sure that we're well aware of, and we're paying attention, and we're putting ourselves in place. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and we're just gonna go over a little bit of information. All right, so guys, for the longest time, if you have not heard, or you do not understand what's really going on in the market, we're entering into the bull phase of this market, right? So there's a certain thing that happens in crypto every 4 years. It's called the halving, And basically what that is, the halving is the circulating supply, or the supply of money, or the supply of Bitcoin that is put into circulation for people to buy, use, or whatever the case may be, is cut in half, right? So when we look at previous times or halvings in our history, you know, there's a cycle that happens in that instance, right? So you have the supply being cut in half, and then for this time, why I say this is uniquely different is because those other bull runs that we looked at, you know, from 69,000, that was done with no institutional money in the game. Well, all that has changed. The institutional guys are in. You know, we have the Bitcoin ETFs that are blowing up. You know, we had over, I think the number now is $6.1 billion in the last 2 to 3 weeks flow into Bitcoin ETFs. So now the money is coming into the market. But what I would caution most people, just like the brother said about FOMOing in, thinking that you're going to miss out on something. It's important for us to step back, take a look at where we are in the market, and understand that it's a cycle. And I'm going to show you some of those cycles as we look at it today. All right. So why should we be investing in cryptocurrency now? Like, why is now the time? So most people, when they look at cryptocurrency and they understand Bitcoin, why is Bitcoin so valuable? And I think one of the biggest things I think we have to understand, if we look at Bitcoin and we look at the US dollar, right? Imagine if there were only $21 million in
You could be right about that.
When do they get a second win?
Guys, please make sure you mute your phone.
MMA.
MMA, it's hard to.
All right. So imagine if there was 21 million Bitcoins only, 21 million dollars only in circulation. How much would $1 be worth, right? Because it's scarcity, right? With the US dollar, the reason why, you know, home prices have went up 20 to 25%, 20 to 50%, food prices and everything. It's not because it costs more for the chickens to lay eggs. That's not why. It's because that dollar that you have in your hand is worth less. So it's losing value. So the money that we go to work and we work every day for is losing value because the government has the ability to print as much money as they want. Like if you go to a beach and you see the sand everywhere, how much is that sand actually worth? Not a lot, because it's infinite. It's a bunch of it. It's an infinite amount. But with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million that will ever be mined, right? So that makes it a finite amount, that makes it rare. And then now we're coming on to a point where what we're going into is called the halving, which the circulation is being cut in half. But now at a time where you have institutional guys, just trillions of dollars is getting ready to pour into this market, right? So this is why it's so important to understand why the time is now, right? So this is just a quick history lesson right here. So if you would have invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2009, when Bitcoin was 0.003. Now, guys, I want you to understand that you guys right now sit in front of a Bitcoin that's almost $60,000. We have seen $69,000, and it started at less than a penny 15 years ago. There's no other asset class. There's no other investment that has done that type of performance, right? So if you look at if that $100 in 2017 when we had our second bull run, that $100 would have been worth $633 million, right? In 2021, when we saw 69,000, that $100 would have been worth $2.1 billion, right? And like I like to tell people all the time, we can't really time the market. That's not what we're trying to do, right? We want to position ourselves in the right way, but the truth of it is time in the market. And if you understand the amount of money that has to flow into this market from mutual funds, stocks, bonds, everything that's coming into the market right now, then this will be growing for the foreseeable future, right? So you have to understand that now is the time. If I position myself now, then I can take advantage of what's to come for the next, I would say next 10, 20 years. I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and just digital currency, period, digital forms of money is the future, right? And it'll be here for the foreseeable future, right? So that's why we have to understand this technology, and we have to put ourselves in place so we can take advantage of it. So when I say the halving, so if you look at historically, this is what happens. So every 4 years or every 210 blocks, the amount of Bitcoin that comes into circulation is cut in half. So 2009, 2012, it went from 50 to 25, 2016, 12.5, and then 2020, it went to 6.25, and then 2024, the next halving is happening in April or May of this year. It'll go to 3.1, right? So again, we're having a lessening of supply, but we're having an increase of demand. And that's simple supply and demand. That's gonna make the price skyrocket from there, right? So I just like to look at, again, guys, believe nothing that I say. I want you to fact check everything that I say, Google everything that I say. But like I said, documentation beats conversation any day of the week. So when we look at the historical halving chart, right? So the second one, we'll start here. The second one started July 9th, 2016. Bitcoin was trading about 650 bucks right there. And then the third one happened in May and 2020, and then less than 12 months later, we got the 69,000, right? So the next one is expected in April. So what I want to show you guys, again, this is one of the tools that I want you guys to know how to go and use. This is called Coin Market Cap. Make sure you're taking your notes, paying attention to this one. This is like your Google of everything cryptocurrency. So it tells you everything about it. It tells you the current market cap of Bitcoin, of the entire crypto market at $2.2 trillion. And then it tells you the 24-hour volume. So $178 billion came into this market in the last 24 hours. That's up 59%. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin makes up 53% of the entire market, and Ethereum makes up the other 18. So the rest of the coins, which we call altcoins, make up the rest. But what I want to show you guys is this. So I want you to click on cryptocurrency, and then I want you to go to historical snapshots, right? So we're going to look at this in real time. So we're going to go to the last one that was in 2016. So if you look at, guys, please make sure you mute your phones.
I tell you, boy, we get you a little.
All right. So
I
we
hope
look
that
at
my people coming in here with that noise embarrassing me. The hell?
It's all good. So the date that we're looking for is May 11th, 2020. Okay. So we go to May. So we got May 11th, 2020 right here. So we start May 10th. And basically, this is what we want to show you guys today. So if you look at the price of Bitcoin on May 10th, $8,700 right there, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to advance the time. So we're looking at May 10th, 2020, right? So we're going to the next month. Just continue to look at the price of Bitcoin, right? Look at the price of Bitcoin as we go through the months. And my computer's moving a little slow, but we'll get to it. Come on. You're going to see it start to move. All right, we're in August of 2020. So we've already went from 8,500 to 11,000. All right. Keep it moving. September. This should be moving a lot faster than this, but it's my computer. So we're in October, 13,000. Get to November, almost at 16. So even right there, from 18, from May to here, that's already 18,000 from 8,000. So that's already $10,000 jump right there, right? So now let's get into 2021 because we're moving into the bull run now, right? So in January, we're at 38,000. Keep going. 40,000 in February, 57,000 in February, right? Now we're in March, 51,000. March, 59,000, right? Almost getting to the peak in April, right? So we get to the peak in April, we have about a few more days, and you see that we're at 60,000. So in less than 12 months, Bitcoin went from 8,500 to $69,000 in less than 12 months, guys. And the reason why I tell you this is because it's getting ready to happen again. It's already happening, right? So this is why I said, don't believe anything I say. Go look at the numbers and you will see that this is how it performs. And like they say, you know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And we believe that this time around, there's more money in the system. There's institutional guys. You have guys like BlackRock, Fidelity, all these big corporations that are now in the Bitcoin space, right? Are now in the cryptocurrency space. So you got BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, BY Mellon, Invesco, Bank of America. These are all companies that you guys know. So if you guys are waiting, or you have been waiting for the institutional guys on Main Street to tell you that it's okay, well, they're telling you that it's okay, right? JP Morgan, you know, Jamie Dimon can come out and say whatever he wants about cryptocurrency or whatever the case is, but they're in the space already. And like I said, man, for us, we don't have to make it any more difficult than it has to be. We just follow the money, period. We're going to follow the money. If they're putting billions of dollars into this space, then we should be putting our money along with it as well, right? So, but again, it's all about positioning, right? So this is one of the things that I want you guys to understand. When the brother talked about FOMOing in, right? This is the psychological complex that we go through when we're trading, when we're looking at things that we want to buy and all these different things. We go through all of these emotions, right? So where we, you know, when crypto first came out or certain coins come out, you know, there's a disbelief phase. Nobody knows about it. Nobody really understands, but the early adopters do, right? They understand what the market is. They understand what's going on, and they get in early because they understand about the time in the market, right? And then we get a little bit of a bump, you know. So if you got in early, you like, I'm a genius now because what I believed in is starting to work for me now, right? And then you get that rally where people start to get more optimistic, right? More optimistic, more optimistic. More people are believing in this thing called crypto now. More people are believing in it, right? And then you get the thrill, right? And to be honest with you guys, most people buy in between belief and thrill, right? And the majority of people buy at the euphoria stage, right? That's where most people buy. So when you got into these coins and then you got left holding the bag because everybody else that had got in at this disbelief phase or this hope phase is now taking profit, you're left holding the bag. So that's what I want you guys to understand, that it's all about positioning and understanding where to get into the market. But then you have the euphoria phase, right? And then you get a bit of a retracement. The price goes down a little bit, and this is when we go into our complacency phase, right? Because we hoping something happen for us, we hoping it go back up, we hoping we at least break even, right? But then it continues to the downside, and then that's when the anxiety kicks in. That's when the denial, like, man, this thing gotta go back the other way, and then you start to panic, right? And then that's when you really see people really start to sell, right? And then there comes the anger phase. And the reason I show you guys this is because learn from my mistakes. The last bull run, I did very, very well. I got into some great picks, but what I did, I held them entirely too long, right? I didn't take my money off the table because I was in love with certain projects, right? So this is what we have to avoid. The psychology and the emotion of what's going to go on, because it's going to happen. You're going to see numbers flying like right now. When Bitcoin was 15,000, nobody wanted to touch it. Now that it's 60,000 again, everybody wants to buy it. Not the right time to buy, right? So this is another chart I want to show you, right? So this is how the evaluation of the money goes, right? So you have the smart money. This is a stealth phase, right? So we're a little bit past that on some of these projects, but we will help you guys get to that. But now, right now, we're in that institutional phase where the institutional guys are putting money in. And the reason why we haven't seen a big run up just yet is because there's a ton of money that has to come in the market, and all these, you know, they can only put it into so fast. And it's not enough Bitcoin to go around for all of these people to buy right now, right? So they can buy different vehicles, but it's a lot of money that has to come in. So we're right here. But the good thing about that is, guys, we may get one more pullback in this cycle. We may get it. I don't know that for sure, but we may get one more pullback. And I'm telling you, that will be your last buying opportunity before we really go on a run, because then we get to the media attention. Then you get the enthusiasm, because these institutional guys own the media attention, right? So once they have all of their positions, once they where they need to be, then they start changing the narrative about Bitcoin is going to be the next thing. You guys better make sure, and it's already happening. You're starting to see it all over. So this is the phase that we're getting ready to go into, guys. So I want you guys to understand that where we are in the market, you're not too late. There's still time to get yourself in position, and this is what's important to understand in the market, right? And then also, if you understand what you're seeing now, so there's phases. And this is how you have to understand. There's a phase. Money is going to flow into Bitcoin. It's going to go into Bitcoin and Ethereum, because those are the two largest cryptocurrencies, right? And that's what everybody know. That's what the institutional guys know. That's what and that's what they trust, right? They trust Bitcoin and they trust the security of Ethereum, right? But what we want to be looking at for, and Ethereum is getting ready to file for that. Well, they already filed for their Ethereum ETF, right? So that's going to bring tons of money into this market. But what we want to be looking for is not these, are the projects that are being built on top of Ethereum, right? Not Ethereum, so to speak. Now, if you want to buy Ethereum at $3,000, then you do that, and I'm not saying that that's a bad buy. But for me, my thing is always use the smaller cap coins to buy more of the gold and silver, right? If that makes sense. We need to use this money because you can get way more bang for your buck out of these, and then convert it back into Bitcoin or Ethereum if you want to hold for the long run. And again, in our masterclass, we give you guys different strategies, whether that's if you have Bitcoin, you've done well in the bull market and you don't want to sell it in order to cash out, and that's going to trigger a taxable event. Again, I'm not a tax professional. I'm just speaking from experience. There's opportunities where you can borrow against your Bitcoin and get the cash that you need. And then that lessens your tax burden, and you still get the capital that you need to do what you need to do. So that's some of the things that we go over. But I just want you guys to understand this flow of money. Once it comes into the big or the large cap coins, then you're going to go to your mid-range coins, your avalanches, your polka dots, some of those, right? And then it's going to start flowing to the altcoins. That's your meme coins. That's all of the little coins that mean absolutely nothing, but people are really excited about it, right? And then for me, that's when I feel that's when the party is over, right? When we get to this all season and everything is going crazy, and I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. That's when the party is basically over. But we need to be looking to take profit way before this happens, right? So we talk about those type of things, and we get into it. So just to let you know, class, this says February 8th, but it's every Thursday, so we're having one tomorrow. And we're going to talk about all of these things. We're going to go in depth. We have something for the beginners, and then we have something for for the advanced. But we're going to take you from A to Z to make sure you understand why the time is now, what you need to do to prepare, and then put yourself in the market. We want to lead that class with the tools we need to start investing in this market. All right. And if you came with Rich, Phil, please understand that this is he'll send you out the links for you guys to participate. And in that box, you definitely want to put his code there right there. So because we're giving away some Bitcoin, and we're giving away a Tangent wallet. So this is a hardware wallet that we'll be giving away. So we want to make sure you guys can participate in that. So man, that's just a little brief about it. And I want to bring my brother in now, and have him share a little bit about his experience in the crypto space, and what he's looking forward to in this next bull run. Brother Red, you there? Thank you, Mike.
Can you hear me, Peace?
I can.
Yeah, this is Brother Blue. Red just went to I think he just went to the Studio B real quick. I'm gonna run and get him.
Okay.
1 second, good brother. Thank you.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
All right.
All right. So guys, if anybody on here have any questions that you would like to ask, anything that you're curious about that's going on in the market right now, please either put them in the chat or ask your questions. Please put them in the chat and let me know what you guys are thinking about, what you're needing. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys a link where you can participate in the master class on tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
you back?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, brother, just giving them a little taste of what what we're gonna be going over, what's the things to watch, just the knowledge of how to navigate this market in a real way and not be FOMOing in and things like that. So, what has been your experience? Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna just say this, that the way that you laid it out in simple terms, you know what I mean? The way that you made it plain, I wish that I wish that we heard this about 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
And for anybody that's in the audience listening, then I'm not saying to be angry or mad, but you should be very skeptic about everything that you hear in the news, because you'll realize you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and literally they put you in fear so they could get rich. Did you see what he just showed you about 2012, where Bitcoin was at? Did you see what he showed you in 2009 when it was $1, where you would be at right now? So we don't have to speculate as to why the government was going so gun-ho, because this new wealth class that's being created, it's not them, it's not old money, it's not blue bloods, it's not tied into their financial systems and whatnot. It's a new wealth class that's coming from the hood, from the underground, from the underworld, from all corners of the planet. There's people in Africa they got about 30 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
I know people that they were doing gigs for Bitcoin back in the days. The whole underworld was using Bitcoin to buy, stuff off the Silk Road. I'll just leave it there.
Nah, man, and you speaking on something that's very important, man, because a lot of time, like we talked the other day, we miss so much of the dot-com boom, the oil boom, all of these different booms, and their job is to tell you that, hey, man, stay away from that. This is not what you need to be.
Right. Because
Right?
if it's the other way around, it's called insider trading. They would get in trouble if they said buy it.
Right.
They'll never be able to say buy it on television, or the senators, Congress, and their advertisers will find them. The SEC will find them. So they cannot speak favorably about anything that's going crazy, because that's considered insider trading. So they have to put you in FOMO and in fear. You got to shake out of that, y'all. We have, like the brother said, because we miss so many booms, there's no speculation as to why Black people, specifically Negroes in America, are where they at. Let's cut right to the chase. This is about our survival at the end of the day. This is not a play thing. I remember when Bitcoin was at 16K. This was not long ago. Me and Chicago Crypto was doing classes, and I couldn't even do the campaign to have all of us collect Bitcoins, because it was pulling teeth to get $100.
Yeah.
So it's like we're looking at it like, oh, I don't have 60 bands, so I'm out of the race, rather than saying, well, it's 6 of us, or it's 60 of us, or it's 600 of us. Let's at least get something. We got to get an asset that we could all just be like, we at least own something, rather than sitting on the side of the highway while this fucking motorcade passes us by, right? Of niggas is winning.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people winning. I promise you, it's going to be a heavy summer for all of you single. It's going to be a heavy, if you're on a dating scene and you ain't Bitcoined up, and the crypto boys is out here running crazy, you feel me? It's going to be a real FOMO like summer. I would encourage you